Sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again on this video. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyazifunde izincwadi ezibhalwe ngolimi lwethu lwesiZulu bese sizalana sizokhuluma ngazo, siphinde futhi sixoxe nangama-issues asuke evukile ngathi sisifunde story and relating those stories to our real life. Siyaphinda futhi senza ama-videos-ke where I talk about my personal life experiences, and today it's gonna be one of those videos. Today ngifuna ukunisiza as abantu ukuthi iziphi izinto ezamukelekayo ukuthi nizenze futhi nizisho umzali osuke nengane enama-special needs. Lezi zinto lezi ngizozenza zibe u-10. Ziningi kakhulu, mhlawumbe ngelinye ilanga ngiyo-extenda ngenze ezinye, kodwa nje namhlanje ngithe ngizophikha lezi eziwu-10 abantu abazisho kakhulu uma bebona umama who has a special needs child. Abantu bayathanda ukuthi bakubuze ukuthi unabo yini abanye abantwana. Uma uthi yebo nginabo, bese bethi hawuyazi at least unabo abanye abantwana. Ayihlali kahle leyo nto kumzali wengane esuke inama-special needs. Kahle kahle ngazi nanokuthi isho ukuthini leyo nto. Uma nginazo ezinye iy'ngane, so how does that make my situation better from umzali ongenayo? Iy'ngane kuthina nje bazali bey'ngane ezama-special needs ziyafana. Yona le nama-special needs nalaba abangenawo ama-special needs uyafana, bayiy'ngane zami ngibathanda ngokufana. Uma ngase kuthiwa nje uNkulunkulu uthathe oyedwa wabo, ukukhala kwami kungafana kubona bonke. So leyo nto is very offensive to a parent of a special needs when you say that they are like that they have omunye umntwana. So refrain from saying leso statement leso. Okunye kwesibili abantu abakushoyo okuye kungi-offende mina, especially umuntu uma esuke engawazi nama-beliefs ami, is that when they meet me they say, have you tried this? Have you gone and seen this mthandazi? Have you gone and seen lesangoma lesi? Have you tried this therapy? And a lot of the times you find that a person hasn't taken the time to get to know me. They haven't taken the time to get to know my child's condition. So, but they have enough to just suggest solutions to me, solutions to the problem that they don't even understand. Refrain from doing that. Uma ungimitha nje njengomzali wama-special needs, ngitreat-e njengoba uzotreat-a any other parent. Uma ngabe kukhona ama-conversations ofuna ukuba nawo, awenze respectfully, ngoba phela awungazi ukuthi ngibhiliva nje ususugestela izangoma njena or usungisugestela abathandazi. So refrain from ukwenza kanjalo, ukuthi uthi uma ungibona nengane yami bese wena futhi ufuna ukungifara ama-solutions that you would have used wena. Ucabange futhi ukuthi ingane yami, I do everything that I can, I do the best that I can to provide her with the best that I can give her. So ayikho kakhulukazi isikhathi esiningi ayikho into entsha osazongitshela yona engingakaze ngize ngizwe njengomzali. So it's like usuke ufuna nje ukungikhombisa ukuthi uyabona ukuthi ngine-situation e-different empilweni yami. So refrain from ukwenza ama-suggestions ezinto ezithile ocabanga ukuthi wena zingangisiza kwi-situation yengane yami. Unumber 2 loyo. Unumber 3 wami, ngike ngabuza kubaba wakho ukuthi bese ngikubhalile phansi, ngase ngibuza ubaba wakho ukuthi iyiphi into eku-irritator the most or eku-offenda the most uma abantu behlangana nawe uhamba nomntwana wethu. Usho le point le esho vele bese ngiyibhalile phansi. Abantu bayathanda ukuthi, oh shame, what is wrong with her? What happened to her? Why izalwa kanjalo? Why is she born like that? Oh shame. You find ukuthi you are even in a situation, you're not even in the hospital where you are thinking about a condition. You are out at the mall shopping, being happy, not even thinking about the condition that she has, and somebody just sees her on the wheelchair. Oh shame, what happened to her? That statement doesn't help anybody. That statement doesn't make a parent feel any better about the situation. That statement doesn't make the child feel better about the situation. It's an unnecessary statement when you say, oh shame, what happened to her? Oh shame, was she born like that? Really, what do you expect me as a mom to say when you ask me that question? Are you expecting that I'm going to pull a chair at the mall and sit down with you and tell you that 3-part story that I just told in 3 videos because you are asking, oh, Shem, what happened to her? Was she born like that? Because it means I have to tell you that whole story. Especially when it's a stranger that says that, you are not, that is not an appropriate question to ask a stranger. If I tell you what happened to her, what are you going to do with that information, being a stranger that is just meeting me at the mall? So do not ask parents that question. This is one of the things that mostly our black in our black society, people do this all the time. People will say, I know a child like this. My neighbor has a child like this. My cousin has a child like this. Ngiyamazi, engasekhaya kunengane enjena." Guys, that is not an appropriate statement to say. Number one, even if a child that you know has cerebral palsy, like my child, there is no child in the world that has cerebral palsy and is like my child exactly. I am telling you, even if you go around the whole world, there isn't. There are no two children that have cerebral palsy and their condition affects them the same. Every child, they are different. So that statement, even if you mean they have the same condition, it still is incorrect because there is no child in the world that is like my child. Also, when you say it's a child like this, it's almost saying they are not human. It's like you remove them being human in that statement. So, and it offends abazali, and it's one of those things that just are made to remind umzali that your child is different. We are trying to live normal lives with our children, enjoy life like every other parent. So don't say these statements that are random, and at random times they can just remind us of the challenge that we are living with. The next one also, I will say I have never received this question from another nationality. So I will say for me, this has mostly come from my black brothers and sisters, where they ask, "We are whole, does your child get a SASSA grant? How is that relevant in your life?" I do not understand it. It's irrelevant. Yes, we are whole, and then what? Again, it's a statement that is meant to remind you of your child's condition. Because when you're asking, we are whole, you are asking if they get a grant for disability. And you are not asking if they get the normal grant that every other child. Because if they did, then you would ask all my three children. You will ask me about all my three children. So when you meet me, ungangibuzi ukuthi umntwana wami uyahola yini. It is none of your business. It's irrelevant. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help me. And it doesn't help my child. And it doesn't educate you anymore about my child's condition. So refrain from asking parents who have children with disabilities, or you have children with special needs, if their children are getting a grant. It is none of your business. It's irrelevant to you. Enye futhi question abantu, it's not a question, it's a statement that people normally say, and it's really, really offensive. And I know that sometimes it comes from a good place. People will say, "You really like what I like about you is that you really, really love your child." Guys, I didn't know that we had an option of whether we can love our children or not. I thought as mothers and as parents, we're supposed to love our children. Why is it something different for me to love my child just because she has special needs? Did I have a choice not to love her because she has special needs? Why is that statement even important to make? Oh, your child is so cute. you know you really love your child is so clean, or your child is looking so cute in her clothes, you dress her really nice. She's my child, I'm gonna dress her really nice because she's my child. Guys, refrain from that statement. You might not understand how it offends a parent of a special needs, but it does offend umzali. There's another statement that people will say, especially when they're trying to be nice, and from their point of view, bazama ukusiza. Someone will just say, mhlampe, they want to go somewhere with you, and you're like, "No, I really cannot go because I have to take care of my child." And they're like, "You know what? You can bring her to my house and she can stay with the other kids." Guys, if you have never taken the time, even if you are a close friend or a family member, and you have never taken the time or made arrangements to come and I show you how my child, how to take care of my child, and I show you her routine, how she wakes up in the morning, the medication that she takes, her stretches, how she goes to bed, how to position her when she's in bed, how to position her in the chair, how to put her in a standing frame. You cannot just one day decide that you are going to babysit my child, or your teenage daughter is going to babysit my child. It is impossible. And when you say those statements, it's almost like you really don't understand the condition of the child, and you don't understand what it takes to take care of the child. And people will think that you don't want to go certain places because no, just take her to whoever, they'll take care of her, let's go somewhere. We can't do that. It's a different situation. You have to understand it. If you want, yeah, people will even say to me, awufuni sikuphathele yena. And I'll be like, but you don't know ukuthi uphathwa kanjani. So you have to understand that if it's a child with special needs and you are willing to help, your help should go just beyond saying, you can always bring her to me. It must go, and you must also take the time to say, let me come and see how you do her bedtime routine. Let me come and see how you do your morning routine. Otherwise, it gets too much for a mother if you're just going to say, we're going somewhere. You can always say, when we are now, you don't want to go anywhere. You always make an excuse with the child. It is not like that. It's more taking care of a special needs child. It's more than just taking a child and dropping off with whoever's teenage daughter to take care of them. It is more. It requires more than that. And then people also like saying, these kids are very smart. These kids are whatever. These kids are very smart. I love these kids. When you say statements like that, you are identifying them as something different from other children. Again, it's a statement that reminds everybody that they are different. And that statement doesn't help anybody except to remind a parent that their child has something different about them. People also like saying that, you know what, she doesn't look sick to me, she looks normal to me. I don't know how that statement is supposed to help as well, because the fact that she looks normal, of course she's normal. Because when you say, but she looks normal to me, she doesn't look sick. Who said she's not? She's normal. Having a special needs, it is normal. It's a normal condition that children can have. But when you make that statement again, it reminds a mom that you are seeing her child as not normal. And also, it indicates how much you have not educated yourself with the condition of a child. Rather not make that statement at all. If a child is cute, just say she's cute. If she's pretty, just say she's pretty. If she looks cute in her clothes, just say that her clothes are looking cute, just like you would do for any other child. But refrain from the statement, these children are, these children are, these children do this. Don't say that statement because it is offensive. Also, another thing that people do is stare. I've walked into a room where with a wheelchair, with my child in a wheelchair, and I can just feel people's eyes like on us, like everybody on us. It's already very challenging when you have a child with special needs, especially in a situation where she has something that identifies her as different. Because for my case, when a child is in a wheelchair, she's different because her mobility is different from other children. She's not walking; she's being pushed on your wheelchair. So that situation is already different. So when I go to a mall or any other public place, it already takes a lot for me to walk into that situation. Now, with everybody just staring at you, which I don't even know, I even prefer people that come and talk to you about whatever than people staring. It just makes the situation even heavier for a parent, because over and above, when I have to go out over and above, considering that I have to load the wheelchair in the car, load her in, make sure that all of her All of the stuff that she needs is there, all the nappies, all her medication in case she gets sick while we're out. Over and above that, I also have to consider, am I ready for the stairs? So sometimes I don't go out with my child because the stairs can get too much. People will stop at the supermarket when they're picking up stuff, and they will stop, and then they will look at you, and you go past the aisle, and then you go in another aisle, and then they do the same. It becomes heavy for a parent, even moms and dads. So please, guys, try and refrain from this statement. I know that some of these things people don't know about them. It's something that we grew up people saying when they see children with disabilities or children with special needs. So we are learning as we go. So listen to these clues so that next time you meet a mom that is traveling with her angel, you will know what to say or what not to say. I actually prefer people that come and have a conversation with me, even though I do feel like I do not owe anybody an explanation about my child's condition. But I prefer somebody that comes to me and say, "Tell me about it. How did your child end up in a wheelchair?" And then I have a conversation with them. I prefer people that instead of staring at me, somebody comes and says, "Sisi, do you need help with your wheelchair?" Which most of the time I don't, because I know how to handle it. But I prefer somebody that will go, "Do you need any help with the wheelchair?" And I say, "No, Sisi, I am okay." I prefer people like that rather than just staring, or rather than just making certain comments that might offend me. Ngiyabonga kakhulu ukuthi niyibuke le video. Hopefully we will continue with these types of videos that are more educational, and so that people will know how to be when they meet mothers or when they meet children that are in these situations, so that we know how to accommodate everybody, and we know that we're not so we can make sure that we don't offend anybody, and that we are more accommodating in our societies. Thank you so much for watching. Ngithanda kakhulu.